I mean, I think this is a really cool topic. Let's take some comments here. So Toa says he agrees with that about card ladder, and this will be a good segment into our next topic. We're going to take some audience questions in our next topic. RPO Sports Card shout out. You've been commenting on our content and hit me up in a Twitter DM, so I appreciate that. I love the action. They say morning fellas never use market movers, but really like the strategy that Chase is talking about of pairing the two together. So we appreciate that. He's going to the Dallas show in July. Chase, are you going to be there?
Yes, I will be there. I don't think Roadshow will have a booth at the July show, but me and Cody will definitely be walking around. So come see us, RPO.
RPO's
yeah, exactly.
He's a friend of mine. He's like we've been chatting on Twitter, and he is an Aggie as well, Crim. So
phenomenal. So before we get into our next actual topic, let's take some audience questions. So Toa was asking, were any of you around to experience the first time Topps came out with Bowman first, and then interested to hear about the hobby's thoughts about what it means for football and basketball? We're always happy to talk about this. Kendall and I have talked about it on recent shows, and Chase has not. So let's give Chase kind of the first take on this one.
Are we talking about Herbert and Burrow, or
Bowman?
We are about to talk about Herbert and Burrow, but
this is what I was doing around that time. So what was that? Was that like 2012, 2013, around that time? Trout has a first Bowman, right?
No, he has a rookie card Bowman Chrome.
Okay, so that was like 20.
I mean, he does, but it's not. It doesn't have
yeah,
it's hard to explain.
So I was like around 2010, 2012-ish, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So this is what I was doing around that time. More so my brother and his friend, because I was pretty little at the time.
Yeah,
I didn't have any money
or something.
But yeah, so we would go to spring training, and my brother and his friend would look up cards that we would get signed on Burbank site or on Burbank's eBay, and you could find like first Bowman of these like guys that we just wanted to get autographs that like they're like 10 cents, 50 cents.
Yeah.
And so that's my experience with that, is just buying paper first Bowmans on Burbank's site for like 50 cents of these garbage players that we just wanted to get signed.
I believe 2014 was the first year that had the official first logo.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, we saw like how it took a little while for the Bowman first product to be something like, and that's something that we've discussed on our Just Baseball Cardboard Connections show, is that it's just there's values underneath like a 2016-17 threshold that just shouldn't be there. Manny Machado should not be as cheap as he is.
Yes.
You know, like there's just Carlos Correa should not be as cheap as what he is. But Carlos Correa, for instance, comes out of that 2013 set. So it's like a 1 year before that Bowman first starts. And so really before that, it was the rookie cards that were really valuable. And so I keep thinking that we'll see a trend towards, you know, eventually those like Bowman first Chrome cards that, I mean, obviously like they're still their first Chrome card, but they don't have that logo because they hadn't really gotten to that little system yet. So I still think that we will see a pop in those eventually. So if you're going to go buy some Correa autos, go ahead and do it. But
I 100% agree with you. I was going to mention that later on in the show on a different topic, but
good. Well, you can bring it back up later.
I mean, bring it back up later, because I think it's a great question by Toa, and it's a great response by both of you. I wasn't thinking as much about that, so I'm glad you guys brought it up, like the potential play of going back and being like, okay, we already know this guy. We already know his major league career. It looks like his first Bowman is completely underpriced compared to some prospect first Bowmans over the last few years. So why not go back and buy that card? Because it's almost like, God, I'm gonna date myself Kendall hates when I do this, but in Back to the Future Part 2, when Biff
Oh,
had,
God.
like, the almanac from the
Yes.
future, Kendall always freaks out. Anyway, so I feel like it's almost our version of that, because like we know the guy's career, like we have his almanac, but yet here sits this Bowman first from years ago that costs less than Bowman first from guys that we really don't know anything about from just the last few years. So I think it's pretty cool topic.